Okay, today we're going to talk about this Cosmic Lion King. It's a TV robot, but it's also a head splitter. And let's see what we can find here on the box. Twinkling shooting gun, stop and go action, open shut head, rotating body, screen on chest. Made in Taiwan. And I don't remember for sure, but it must have been in the 1980s. It was a picture window box when it was in there. It has a problem, but let's look at the good parts first, and then we're going to delve into the problem, and I'll tell you how I may try to fix it. First, let's switch it on if we can. Here's the bright TV screen. But as you can see, it's not walking. It's got a lot of cool flashing lights, even on the back. Really nice graphics. I don't know how they showed up in the camera, but they show up really good in person. Okay, so it's not walking. We already know it's going to be split gears because that's what happens to these robots from the 70s and 80s especially. And so I've been looking at this before I shot the video, deciding, should I shoot the video? I mean, it's not working, and I decided, yeah, it's such a cool robot, and when I collect things for my museum, I mean, it's always nice to have them working, but that's not the main goal. The main goal was just to have a nice example of the toy saved for future generations to look at, because it's not like everyone that comes here is going to get to play with these things. But in the end, it doesn't really matter if it works so much as it's a good example. Okay, I'm trying not to lose this one little screw here. That's why I'm doing it that way. So here we are on the inside of the leg walking mechanism. We can see this top gear that gets engaged is made out of metal. And if you can get that guy to come out, the grease had really gummed up down on the bottom, but he's able to rotate it. But look at this gear. This gear is not only split, but mangled. Now that gear looks similar in size to the ones that are on the cheap Chinese rotomatics like Mr. D-Cell and Space Walkman and all those. So that one I could probably replace, but the real problem comes down to the one that actually drives the leg cranks. Look at this guy. He's got a flat spot here and another flat spot there. So I'm a little bit leery, and this is a much bigger gear than I can remember seeing in any of these toys. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and measure these and document the shaft size, the gear size, and if I come across anything online or anything in old junk bots. Okay, this has got a shaft center hole of 2.9 millimeters. Let me write that down. 2.9. And the gear itself, I got to find a place where it's not cracked and crushed and defaced too bad. There's an outside diameter of about 10.26. Okay. And it's got a length of about 8. So now let's move on to the leg. 3.92. So it probably was a 4 millimeter shaft hole. And let's find a couple of places that aren't crushed to get the outside diameter. 14.2. 14.2. And it's got a width, again, of about 8. So, based on that good information, then as I go through my travels of looking through other junked bots and other things, I'll try to find a replacement for that. Like I say, I think I can replace the one here just by taking one of the cheap Chinese repro toys, but I kind of have the feeling that if I put that new gear in there, it may just get ground up by the flat, but it might be worth trying, so I'll probably give that a shot. It's really rusted and gummed up down here on the bottom, which surprises me because it sits inside a plastic sleeve and it had been greased. I'm assuming that the upper parts are still working because they actually seem to contain some metal. I mean, we had the top gear that's interfaced with this metal, and this bottom one that's sticking down is metal. The next one that I can see inside there for the rotomatic is metal. We have no idea what the bulk of the rest of them inside the toy are, but those ones seem to be metal, which is kind of cool. Okay, that's it for the Cosmic Lion King. Not only a good TV robot, but a head splitter. And one day, if I'm lucky, I may have him walking again. But whether he walks or not, he's a beautiful example of what this toy looked like when it was for sale.